Sequential method. I will begin the presentation of the technique with the words of my colleague. The state of the art is not one thing. It is not the fastest production, the lowest transaction rate, powered, manual, sharp, dull. It is not one device, one technique, or one surgeon. It is the sum of all these. It is the result of the collective effort viewed at a point in time. What are the components of better extraction harvesting? Graft quality, minimal scarring, the ability to reach every follicle in the safe donor area, the ability to effectuate follicle selection, partial transaction, and final donor homogenization. I believe that the key word is control, to maintain control in the hands. The patient is in a sitting position and the surgeon is either in standing or in a sitting position. The surgeon holds the punch and forceps in both hands at the same time. The non-dominant hand penetrates by punch under the control of the pointing dominant hand. The first penetration is perpendicular to the skin surface in order to obtain a clean circular cut by an axial pushing force and by a semicircular rotation. After passing through the epidermis, then the position of the punch is adjusted according to the follicle direction. The dominant forceps hand, one graft at a time in rapid sequence, accomplishes sequential harvesting. This is to provide an opportunity to control the transaction and graft quality each time and adapt the punch size or angle to the changing diameters and directions. Why is the patient in a sitting position? Because the original single follicles for leading front line are predominantly located in the temporal zones. Because in a sitting position and utilizing a smaller punch size, the punch direction can be adapted according to the angle of the follicle. This allows both the patient and the physician better comfort than other positions. In the synchronized video, it is evident that the follicles are sometimes at different angles. The sitting positions enables the physician to adapt and better pinpoint the graft more quickly. In a sitting position, the physician can access the long-haired donor photos during the extraction to effectuate a better harvesting plan, while another physician can simultaneously perform extractions on the opposite sides. Why is the first penetration perpendicular to the skin surface? The real focus of the state-of-the-art surgery is donor management and preservation. Attempts are being made by all to minimize punch diameters without damaging graft quality, thus creating smaller scars in the donor area. If penetrations occur at a perpendicular angle to the skin surface, the smallest perfect circuit cut is obtained within the boundaries of the punch size used. Angle changes incur an elliptical scar. As you can see in the animation, according to your penetration angle, you will get a bigger scar than a circle. This is not exactly an elliptical shape, but to make calculations easier, we can accept it as an ellipse. If we use the known formula, with 60-degree angle, we will get 1.15 times larger scar. With 45-degree angle, 1.40. With 30-degree angle, we will get 2 times larger scar. In fact, because of the increase of the wound length, we will get bigger scars than an elliptical shape. Consequently, an acute angle minimizes the patient's scarring. Why sequential extraction? Because every follicle has a different direction determined by the actual location of the donor area. Additionally, the follicle becomes closer to the skin surface in a vertical direction from top to downwards. If a transaction rate or graft quality is to be properly controlled, then the best method to accomplish this is to check each and every graft after each penetration. This is transaction. Let's see what happens. Once a transaction has been established, the penetration angle of the punch can be adapted easily. The speed of extraction is also important for graft survival and patient comfort. However, it is less important than the creation of an aesthetical donor harvesting. Extraction speed for a single patient is variable from person to person and donor area to donor area. Even with the same patient, it's not possible to keep the same speed during the harvesting. After FUE, the definition of hair transplant has changed. The new definition is a homogenization of both donor and recipient areas in order to create an optimal aesthetic appearance. The man in the animated video is in the Node 6 classification. Imagine now that he holds a 7,000 graft capacity and that the same man was operated upon with both FUT and FUE procedure with the same hair length. As you can see from the animated result photos, at the right side, the loss of density in the donor area coupled with the homogenization of the donor and recipient areas creates a more aesthetic appearance through FUE. Since the brain classifies boldness based on the densities of different areas, homogenization helps create an illusion. But at the left side, since there is a greater difference in density between the donor area and recipient area, boldness will be more visible. We mostly use mid-occipital follicle for FUT procedures, but for the first front line, original single follicles with lower caliber create a more natural look. These follicles are mostly located at temporal and periauricular areas. Lower occipital area or splitting may be other options, but only as a second choice. This patient was complaining because of unnatural graft selections of his previous strip surgery. Some of his grafts were extracted and replaced with original lower caliber single follicles. These are other patient result photos of frontal area including temporal fringe.
Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, oh Constantinople still is Turkish delight on a moonlit night. Every gal in Constantinople lives in Istanbul, not Constantinople. So if you've a date in Constantinople, she'll be waiting in Istanbul.